So I greet you all this evening. Let me go ahead and start with the topic today. The theft of PIPS project as main cause of Manyu backwardness. I followed the debate on Manyu original, and a lot of people, that's on Facebook by the way, I invite all of you to join Manyu original. So a lot of people were giving their reasons why they think Manyu is backwards, but Manyu is not progressing. Some of the people said it's because of the war going on now. But before the war, Manyu was always like that. So you cannot blame the war now. And then some of the people, they lay the blame on different activities. Then you had others who said it's because Manyu people don't support each other. The funniest thing is that when you look at that list of people who were claiming that the people don't support each other, some of them never support another person's cause, except if they were benefiting something. Otherwise, they will not do it. So, but I'm going to give you my own observation. I have a few observations to make. I'll give you first two practices. The first practice is that of Ndekwai. If you guys followed activities in Manyu very well, you must have heard about a young man called Sekora who was killed in Ndekwai. He was killed in Ndekwai by Amba, and it was not because of Amba itself, but his death was engineered by the elites. And the elites, to me, are the cause of our problems in Manyu. The reason why Manyu is not progressing. So why did that happen? Because of the chieftaincy scramble, happening now in Ndekwai. So some people exploit that, and then they side with some of the Amba boys and let them carry on atrocities. So you also remember, if you guys can remember very well, there was a time when you had the Takunchong boys. Takunchong boys, and even the Chief TabeTando boys too. See, all these people were equipped with weapons. They were not trained. They had no discipline. So after some time, they could not live by what they were told. So what happened? They began to misuse their own weapons, the same weapons that were given to them to fight Amba or whatever thing they thought they were doing. So that's a very clear example of how our elites exploit and bring underdevelopment in the area. The second area is that I will give you is Internaco. If you look at the logbook, in the logbook, you will realize there's something there very strange, where the logbook claims that the Internaco people have solar light. 100% project was completed. But if you look at it, the Internaco people themselves put their solar light. It wasn't the government. So where did the 200 million that the government claims it has given for that project go to? When I confronted the mayor said the project was transferred to Sing, and that it was also signed up by an elite or the elites from Internaco themselves. And then you realize they also said that the health center has been completed 50%. So where did the money go? But if you go now and check that health center in Internaco, it looks like Satan's graveyard. And if you enter there, Njoganju will throw on you and it will crash your whole body. So you just want to pass by and check it and see for yourself. They think that has been 50% completed. Okay? So that's a situation where the elites say that something has been done, development has been done, and which nothing has been done. So where did the money go? I met a guy from the one ministry one time when I went to follow up some documents, and he told me something. He said, hey, I cannot talk, but you see, the elites are the one holding this division behind, because they are taking all this money, They are chiffoning all this money. They are stealing all this money, and they're using it for themselves. They are sending their children abroad while they are coming to the poor man and talking about how they have Manyu at heart. So my topic today is that the PIPS project, the misuse of the PIPS project, is a lack of development, is the cause of the lack of development in Manyu division. So then the question you ask me is, what are PIPS though? PIPS stands for Public Investment Program. So the S is for plural, Public Investment Program. And so this is the way it works. Let me tell you how it works. So a village might sit, the village sits, they look at their needs. Then after they look at those needs, they determine the needs that are of priorities to them. Then they now vote and take those needs to the mayor, the council. The council sits now, adopts the needs and takes it to the division or the subdivision. The subdivision takes it to the delegate or the divisional delegate who consolidates it at the regional level. And then once it is earmarked, then the regional report will be sent out to the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Economy of what is going to happen and what they have done. So that's why they do reviews, right? So the mayor is actually the vote holder. He votes for this project to be carried or to be endorsed. So every village determines their own needs before they contact the mayor. That's why if a mayor is not working for you, that village shouldn't vote for that mayor. They should reject that mayor. Every person, let me say every village, and there are different projects that the government spends money on. At times even in Manyu division, they have to send the money back because they did not have any project to execute. They did not even have any project to carry out. Now the question I should ask you is, do we lack projects in Manyu? Can we lack projects in Manyu? Can we lack things that can develop us that they have to send the money back because they could not find the group that will please them for them to send the thing back? So now, once you send all your information, if up to the 15th, the project has not been awarded, then what will happen is that project will be sent back for next year. Then the people can reapply. Then every project that has been agreed upon will be placed inside a book they call it the logbook at the mini-part. That could be shared at the divisional level and also at the regional level. Now, if a village thinks that they have their projects, like the case of Ndekwai, that they claim that the projects have been executed and put in the logbook, meanwhile they were not executed, then they have the right to complain to CONAC. They have the right to contact the Prime Minister's office, and they also have the right to contact the Supreme State Council to complain about the projects that have been embezzled, les projets détournés. And so, last year I had information about the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter of everything that was in the PIPS project. So, Manyu people, instead of complaining and talking about people contributing money, individuals should contribute money so they can develop the place. No, people should hold their elites responsible, their elected officials responsible, their appointed officials responsible, their parliamentarians responsible, so that they contribute or they execute the projects, at least the projects for which they've collected money. At least the project for which they have collected money. The parliamentarians do collect money every year, for minor projects and everything. So ask me, what do those parliamentarians do? What have they done? Buying rice and giving to you people. I bought rice. I don't need to be a parliamentarian to buy rice and chicken for people. So you don't need rice and chicken to be bought by parliamentarians or buy you beer. I bought beer for people. I don't need to be a parliamentarian. So you should stop allowing these people to be exploiting you, stealing all the money, taking the money to develop their families, and pretending to love Manyu so much. So if you come from any village, you can go to the delegation and ask for the PEEPS project and say you want to know the project, maybe from 2010 up to this year, to know what projects they claim that they have been executed for your village. Maybe you're sitting even there, they've said that they've developed a school in your village, meanwhile there's no school, and your elites have embezzled the money, they have shared the money with the SDO and all these people. Sometimes if you have somebody who is talking about these things, what will happen is that the people will try to muscle the person's mouth, you know, with some money, if you're complaining about money being swindled, and if the person cannot sit quiet, then they will take some money and stuff it into their mouth. And you know, a mouth that is full cannot speak. The mouth that is full cannot speak. So at that moment, you hear people change waka. They start to talk. They start to speak a type. They start to behave funny because they have been bribed. That is the devilry we face. That is our problem in Manyu. We don't face anymore. Look, let me say just the little projects that they collect. Just the little project that they collect. If they could execute those projects yearly, in 10 years' time, we would have had lots of development. Look at all the lights they claim that they have put there in those villages. Most of those villages don't have light. You know, look at the health centers they claim they have established. Most of those villages don't have health centers. So you look at all those things, even some of them schools, most of them don't have those schools. And even when they have schools, the schools don't have teachers. That's a big problem. So what my appeal is that villagers should start holding their elected officials responsible. They should start holding their elites responsible. They should start holding even their appointed officials responsible. They should not blame any group. Look, the thing of peace is not the cause of any group. Amba is not responsible for the trouble in Manyu. The government and the rest are solely responsible and to be held accountable. If they wanted peace, peace would have come. It's so easy. They would have made peace. They would have instituted peace. You see, just of recent, a Janam killed a woman because the woman was, let me say, she was like a collateral because the Janam was trying to shoot a motorist who has refused to pay them 1,000 francs. So now the Manyu people did not march. Shamefully, they were marching before on other instances and making big speeches because they wanted to look good. So what happens now that you didn't march? For such an injustice, such a thing that somebody they are oppressing you and depressing you every day, yet you don't do anything. And then you want to march and claim that you're marching for the peace of the land. And the other ones, they made a mockery of themselves, saying they should march from one area of the town and to the other one for peace. Let me tell you, he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. And the Bible says that if the people will humble themselves and pray, if they will humble themselves and pray and confess their sins, you cannot be living a life like that where you're causing all this havoc, you're cheating the people, you're stealing from the people, you're embezzling from the people, and then you go and you're marching around thinking that God is going to listen to such a prayer. That's a show. It makes no sense. That is why God has disproven you guys, has shown it, you know. Look at it yourself. We're still in January. January opens with bloodshed. And there have been instances, other instances like that. So, but we could not do, we cannot do anything. But meanwhile, we could actually do something. I'm calling upon the elites of Manyu. This is your son, Dr. Hamilton Ayuk, the Prince of Tenako, the prophetic apostle, aka the Jesus man. You know the name, you know the face. I'm calling upon all of you who want peace. I'm calling upon all of you who truly want to change that division to come together. It is time for us to team up. It is time for us to bring changes to that division. There is no more scapegoating. Don't scapegoat anyone. If the allies want to change the place, they can. They know where to go. They know what to do. But this will need teamwork. Everyone needs to come together. Nobody should blame anyone. All of us come together and transform our division. God bless you all.